tell me what you know already, because I don't want to go over and rehash stuff because it's not fun to talk about. So what do you know already, basically?
Well, I know your house was broken into, and that you were having trouble communicating with the police, and I don't understand the full story, but apparently you and whatever had to broke off talk with your mom. And that's kind of the gist of it. That's about all I know.
Got it. Okay, yeah. There's a lot more to the story, unsurprisingly. So basically, what happened? Let's see, where to start? So, we got home because I was staying at Trey's work. I had gone with Trey to his work because of the various threats and stuff that had been made. There was all kinds of stuff happening online, unfortunately. All kinds of, oh, well, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna do this, and all that. So,
This was the same one as before? Crowley or whatever?
Yes, Crowley. Unfortunately, he is not the only person who is making death threats. So I have just had the most fun week. But anyway, but yes, Crowley is the one who we believe broke into the house because, obviously we don't know for sure. But, what happened is, someone, we assume Crowley, but we don't know. It is possible that it could have just been a random person. It is possible, but it is very unlikely. So someone broke into the house. So we got home from Trey's job, because I was going with him and just staying at the hospital cafeteria or whatever over the course of the day, just to make sure that I was in a place with security guards and all that good stuff. And so we get back to the garage, and what do you know? We find a note on the ground that we don't recognize. We're like, that's odd. I wonder where this note came from. And this note is written in ink that I don't recognize, from a pen that, as far as I know, was not in the house. And it had a cryptic message, which, I can decode it for you, but it was written in a code, essentially, that, in my opinion, is something that only Crowley and I would understand. So it was talking about a play called Dear Evan Hansen. I assume that's not something you would be familiar with, but it's a play that's been famous the past couple of years. And this play is about someone who commits suicide.
Well, I'm not familiar with it.
Sure. No, like I said, it's kind of cryptic if you don't know the context. It's like, oh, well, it's just writing about a play. I'm sure it's fine. It's like, well, no, it's a play specifically about someone who commits suicide. And so then, at the bottom of the note, in what appears to me to be Crowley's handwriting, which, again, I'm no handwriting expert, but it looks to me like Crowley's handwriting. It says, it says, with love from Trey. And Trey, of course, is my partner who you met while I was down there.
Right.
And there's really only one conclusion that we could come to, which is, okay, this is a letter or a note that is talking about suicide. So it is a suicide note. And how strange that we would find a suicide note in Crowley's handwriting with Trey's name at the bottom. And so we said, this is very strange. We are very uncomfortable with this situation. Let's look around the house and see if anything is going on. And the back window had been broken open and forced open. And what do you know? When Trey went to go look around the house, his computer or his laptop, worth about $2,500, is missing, and his guns have been stolen. And so we're not really sure exactly what happened, but according to Trey, he never mentioned the guns to Crowley, but I don't think that's true, just because Trey talks about his guns relatively frequently. It's not like they're a secret. So I think what happened is that Crowley claimed... sorry, let me give you a bit more context. So in other conversations that he had with myself, with various people... Crowley said that he would rather, in his words, he said he would rather die or, depending on the conversation, rather die or commit suicide than go back to prison. And so, according to that, based on that evidence, I should say, my thinking is that somehow he figured out that Trey had guns, and then he broke into the house with the intent of using those guns to shoot us.
And make it look like somebody else, like Trey did it.
Yeah, because if Trey is dead, and I am dead, and there's a suicide note with Trey's name on it, then the police are going to go, oh, well, it was just a suicide, it's fine. So, unsurprisingly, we decided to leave immediately. We said, do not pass go, do not collect $200, we are going to leave immediately. And, unfortunately, we had a rather ridiculous comedy of errors, where, Trey's aunt was going to take us in, but she came down with COVID. And then, we went to the horse rescue where I had done the campaign a couple of years ago. Because I was like, I know that she always takes people in, she always needs workers and all this. But what do you know, she can't take us in either. Surprisingly enough, despite the fact that she always needs people, it's the end of her busy season, and so she can't take it on right now. And we're like, well, okay, what do we do next? And so, I said, I don't think it would be a good idea to go back to Indianapolis right now, and so we just basically stayed in a little small town in Kentucky for a day or two, just trying to sort things out. It was absolutely horrible. We had issues with our phones, we had issues with just having enough to eat, we had issues with all kinds of different problems, because we were having trouble getting anything done. And, of course, being in fear for our lives, we were not thinking clearly about anything. And that's not a good thing, that's not a bad thing, it's just, when you are that tired and stressed and have nowhere to go and have no bed to sleep in, you're not really thinking clearly. And
Sure.
so, since the last time that I was there, Sissy said, "Oh, well, of course, you can stay anytime." I said, "Oh, well, we should just go to Hot Springs." And, it's perfectly fine for Sissy to change her mind, but that's literally what she told me, is, anytime you need, we've got a big house, and I'm more than happy to let you stay. Those were her words. And again, it's fine for her to change her mind. I have no problem with that. It's just, I made the assumption that she was telling the truth when she said that. And apparently, things changed. That's fine. So then, Mom...
I doubt that she changed her mind, but she's got 4 people this week there at her house.
I know that. She has a 6,000 square foot house. We had 4 people in a 1,500 square foot house. So if she can't host 4 people, or if she can't host 6 people in a house 4 times the size of mine, then I don't know what's going on. But, again, it's not a problem for her to change her mind. It's not a problem. The problem is we had nowhere to go. Now, I said, okay, well, Sissy doesn't have a place available, that's fine. Papa doesn't have a place available, they are sick. And Papa said that the trailer wasn't available. So we'll stay in the Max Light, that's no problem. And of course, Mom, being the wonderful saint that she is, decided that this was the time to tell me that she was very upset that I had not done a proper job of cleaning the camper. Something that she could have told me in the past 60 days at any time. So I said, no, that's not acceptable, goodbye.
So what happened then?
What do you mean?
The story, what you're telling, I haven't heard. I knew there was something that just haven't talked to her again since then, or?
I sent all the information to your email, Pop. I would appreciate it if you'd read that when you can, but I'm more than happy to summarize. So, my mother, hearing that I had nowhere to go, my mother, your daughter, Priscilla Waycaster, hearing that I had nowhere to go, had no bed to sleep in, and had no food to eat, said, and I quote, "You brought this on yourself, figure it out on your own." And I said, that is not acceptable and that is abusive behavior. Therefore, I will be blocking you permanently.
Well, I wish you could have worked it out, goodness.
I do too. I expected that because approximately, 15 years ago, my mom and dad said many times, and, even 10 years ago and 5 years ago, many times, they said, if you are in an emergency situation, we are, of course, more than happy to take you in. And naively, I believed them. And here I am, in an emergency situation, sleeping in my car. I had just been nearly murdered. And this is the time that she chose to bring up the fact that she was not happy with how well I had cleaned the camper. I have no problem cleaning the camper. I have no problem paying a cleaning service to come clean the camper. That's fine. But when I am homeless and hungry and sleeping in a car after nearly being murdered is not the time to quibble over whether something is clean or not. In addition to that, It is not the time to tell someone, you brought this on yourself. I am not okay with that behavior. That behavior is not acceptable, and I will not be communicating with her anymore.
Well, I'm sure sorry to hear that.
She's had 10 years of chances to fix her behavior, and her behavior has not changed. I would be happy to explain how I took every possible step to do the right thing. For example, I gave Noah plenty of advance notice that I would be removing him from the channel. I gave him the opportunity to stream on the channel because I knew that was his primary source of income, even though I did not have any obligation to do so. He used that kindness to steal the channel. Did I bring that on myself? No, I did not. After that, he chose to keep the channel, despite the fact that I let him know that I would be taking him to court because he stole $30,000 worth of my property. I did not immediately file a lawsuit. I waited 2 months because he has a daughter. And I do not want someone with a daughter to spend the rest of their life in prison because of me. So I said, Noah, please, just give me the channel back. It is not yours. It is easy to prove with the evidence that you did not own it. At best, you owned 50%. Did I bring that on myself? No, I did the right thing. I made sure that a family man had every opportunity to spend the next 10 years with his daughter instead of behind bars. After that, he chose, of his own free will and choice, not to cooperate, and therefore I was forced to file a lawsuit to prevent him from deleting the YouTube channel. Because if something is part of an active lawsuit and it is deleted, that is a crime. That is obstruction of justice and destroying evidence. Therefore, I had to file a lawsuit to prevent him from just deleting a $30,000 asset from existence. Now, unfortunately, the lawyers proceeded to screw me over and, charge me, $20,000 in a single month. And so I said, this is not worth my time. This is not helpful to my mental health. And so I gave Noah a call a couple of days ago, before he tried to murder me. I said, Noah, this is not helpful to my mental health. I think that it would be best if you just take the channel. If you want it so badly, you can have it. So, I dropped the lawsuit. Did I bring that on myself? Oh, so for doing the right thing at every step, for giving Noah every opportunity, despite the fact that he tried to steal my property, property that was my only source of income while I was an invalid. Despite the fact that I gave him every opportunity to do the right thing, he did the wrong thing and the illegal thing. That is his choice. But I did not force him to do anything. In addition, a couple of days after I dropped the lawsuit, he tried to murder me. Did I bring that on myself, Priscilla? I did not. So no, unfortunately, your daughter chose to judge me, as she has done for the entirety of my life, and tried to control my decisions, as she has tried to do the entirety of my life. Did you know that I put Priscilla as my emergency contact when I was checked into the psychiatric hospital? Because she is a doctor well familiar with my bone condition, and I figured that would be helpful. Do you know what your daughter said to the doctor?
No, I have no idea.
She said, in response to me telling the doctor that I would like to be released from the hospital, she said, "No, keep him there. He deserves to be there."
Well, there has to be more to the story than that.
There is not. I'm telling you the entire story in a very simple way. However, I'm more than happy to give as much context as you like. Ask me any question.
Well, it's just that I know your mother so well.
Mm-hmm.
She would not do anything but what she felt was the best for you.
No, we're not disagreeing on that. I am not disagreeing with you that she would do what she thinks is best. Unfortunately, what she thinks is best and what is best are two completely different things. Did you know that she purchased in 2012 multiple books that were about gay conversion therapy?
I don't know anything about the books, but I would think that she was doing some research. I don't know. I don't know why she was.
She stated, as I recall, to my boyfriend's mother at the time, that she planned to give these books to me. Now, thank goodness she did not, because I would have been very offended by that. But let me put it in a different context for you. For example, me being gay is just as innately a part of me as Karen having fetal alcohol syndrome. Would you buy a book that says, "We can cure her fetal alcohol syndrome by praying it away"? I'm sorry, that doesn't work. And in addition, every single study done in the past 20 or 30 years of gay conversion therapy has said that it is an abusive practice that does not work, that causes PTSD in many of the people that it is done to. Now, if she would like to explain her actions of trying to keep me in a mental hospital, of saying, "Oh, you did this to yourself," she is more than welcome to explain them to you. But I will not be listening to her explanation because I know what it is. Her explanation is exactly what you said, that she believes that these things are correct, and she is wrong.
Well, she may be. She may not be. You may be wrong, but you may not be.
Papa, I have been thinking about these things for 10 years. I am happy to admit if I am wrong. I have been thinking about whether or not I should continue to speak with my parents for 10 years. After they, in 2012, said, and I quote, according to my mother, that AIDS is something that I would get because I am gay. And according to my father, that being gay is a mental illness. Since then, I have been trying to decide whether or not it was worth the mental stress and PTSD to continue to talk to them. And I have made up my mind. It only took me 10 years. And my answer is, it is not a good idea for me to talk to them ever again.
Well, that's a decision you made. So if you can't find grounds where you can talk, then I guess just so be it.
That's how I feel as well, unfortunately. It is not the conclusion that I wanted to come to, and I've been trying for 10 years to find any other solution. Anything. Any other solution. For example, I thought that going to the, it's not Alcoholics Anonymous, but the 12-step program, whatever, that my dad is going to, I thought that would be helpful to him to, stop being abusive to myself. And unfortunately, his behavior has not changed. His rhetoric has changed, but his behavior has not.
Well, I would say right offhand, and I'm just talking off the top without any thought, that both of you need to change.
Oh, I completely agree. No, I have a lot of work to do. I have been in counseling for many years. I've been taking medication for many years now. And I have improved my personal relationships, my business relationships. I made many mistakes. Many mistakes. But I have improved. I have changed my behavior. In particular, I have changed my mindset to say, if someone displays a pattern of behavior that is abusive for over 10 years, then speaking to that person is no longer a good idea because it is detrimental to my mental health.
Well, can you recognize that people can have two different and sometimes even conflicting opinions, and maybe both are right to a certain degree, and maybe both are wrong to a certain degree?
I've already said that I agree with you on that point.
But then you have to try to find whatever middle ground you can agree on.
No, I do not. Do you remember the analogy that I used of the train barreling towards me?
Yeah.
I have a question. Should I have common ground with a 40-ton locomotive traveling towards me at 100 miles an hour?
Well, I don't think that's a very good illustration.
Why?
Because I know your mother and dad love you.
Love is not the issue. I know that they love me. Obviously they do. That is not the issue. The issue is how they choose to act toward their adult son.
Well,
I am not talking about their feelings. I'm not talking about their intentions. I'm talking about their actions.
well, I don't know what to tell you, Neil.
Unfortunately, I have made up my mind. There is, hopefully, and again, I have no trouble being wrong. I am a person who has no issue being wrong. There's a great example from the scientific community from many years ago of a scientist. I don't remember which one, but a scientist had been working his entire life to prove a theory, and somebody else had been working to disprove the theory. And the second scientist finally had full proof for his idea. He said, "Oh, so here's why this theory is incorrect." And the first scientist got up and shook his hand and said, "Hey, you know what? I'm glad that you found the evidence. I'm glad that you came to this conclusion, despite the fact that we disagreed for so many years. I have that mindset. If Jeff and Priscilla change their behavior and choose to, for example, not try to keep me inside of a mental hospital against my will, then perhaps we have some common ground in the future. But until they have the slightest amount of compassion and understanding for my situation, including mental illness and being gay, then we do not have common ground.
Well, I think the ground is there. You just haven't located it.
You are incorrect.
That could be.
I have been searching for any solution for 10 years. And every conversation, with almost no exception, every conversation has made me anxious, has made me depressed, has made me frustrated, and has been detrimental to my health. And therefore, I do not wish to continue these conversations in any capacity.
Well, the ones that make you feel that way, you should discontinue.
And if all of them make me feel that way because I have PTSD, should a soldier just get over their fear of the battlefield? Oh, I'm sure that the battlefield cares so much about them that they should just talk about it in a safe and a secure environment.
I think you're looking at wrong analogies.
Please explain.
Well, I can't other than come back to what I had said before, and you want to write off the fact that love doesn't matter. I think love does matter.
I didn't say it doesn't matter. I said their actions matter. I'm not saying that they don't love me. Of course they do. That would be stupid to say that they do not. They took care of a child who had a severe mental and physical condition for 16 years. They would not have done that if there was not love in their heart. However, unfortunately, love is an emotion much like power or any other emotion that can be corrupted. For example, did people who fought in the Civil War love the Confederacy? Of course they did. And we look back at that and we say, oh my God, why did they love this so much when this represented the concept of slavery? From a modern perspective, that is wrong. The love in their hearts for their country was not at issue. What was at issue was their actions and the implications of their actions.
Well, I think genuine love is more than emotion.
Of course it is. Love is both emotion and action. And therefore, both the emotion and the action must be in concert with one another. Therefore, I am saying that their actions do not match their words. And therefore, in my opinion, their words are meaningless.
Well, I can't question the way they make you feel.
Uh-huh.
But I do know from your standpoint that if you would listen to them, they would be willing to help you.
Well,
in any way possible for them to do it.
I would be happy to believe you, but I said I am homeless. I do not have food. And they said, you shouldn't have disrespected us by leaving the camper messy. And you brought this on yourself. Figure it out. Would you like me to read you the email that she wrote?
No.
Okay.
I haven't read it, but I don't necessarily want to hear it.
I bet. Ask her yourself. I'm sure that she can justify her actions.
Well, we haven't talked about it a great deal, of course, because it's a concern to her and a concern to us. We have talked some.
Mm-hmm.
But I know, even from the time you were here before, and I was overjoyed that I thought, we were really moving to a reconciliation. And then whatever happened and that came to blow up, it had to be more than just the trailer not being left in good order.
That's my thought as well. There must be more to the story, but the fact that they chose to make that the point of issue when I was homeless and sleeping in a car, in my opinion, shows their character.
Well, there's another side of that too. You had just received a settlement of $300,000. Why were you having to sleep in the car?
Well, unfortunately, and as I explained in an email and in a phone call, unfortunately, it was delayed again. It has been delayed for months and months and months, and the lawyer said that it was on the way and it was ready to go, and then it was delayed again.
Well, I don't know. That certainly changes the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But had they been told that had changed?
I already said that I told them. Here's the thing that if you would like to talk to them about it, you're more than welcome to pass on this information from me. I have no problem being self-sufficient. I am perfectly capable of being self-sufficient. I can live in the car indefinitely. I will be fine. But when I ask for help, it is not because I want a handout. It is because I am in a desperate emergency situation. And so, they use their freedom of speech to say, well, just figure it out on your own. That's perfectly fine for them to say that. But I also have the freedom of speech to say, that is rude and cruel, and I will not be speaking to you anymore.
Yeah.
Trey has just gotten back, so I'm going to let you go for now. If there's anything else you'd like to say, this is actually Trey's phone. We've had no end of trouble with phones for the past week. That has been one of the major issues that has prevented us from having food and lodging. So, if you would like to contact me back, you're more than welcome to save this number to your phone. It's 207-615-7530. And you can save that to your contacts. Just make sure to save it under Trey. T-R-E.
Okay.
I'm going to let you go for now, and I will talk to you later, okay?
Well, I do appreciate your calling.
I appreciate you listening.
It's good to hear from you, and I do love you.
I love you too. And I love Mom and Dad. That was never at issue.
Yeah, well, we'll talk to you later.
Okay. Thank you, Papa. I appreciate it. Talk to you later.
Hey, Papa.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi.